2, 3, 4, the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you get trapped in a headlock and you're worried about smearing your lip gloss. You shoot her off and take a shoulder block. Do the leapfrog, give her the hip toss. On the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee because the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then you get punched to the ring apron and you realize all the trouble you're in. On the hardest part of the ring. One more, the hardest part of the ring. You got the guy in an abdominal stretch and you grab the rope for extra leverage. Then you get a concussion from the angry rush and you get paid with a diet soft beverage. On the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa, yay. Oh, what is going on, Bob Squad? We are talking about Monday Night Raw this week. The Hulu edition. Not limited enough commercial interruptions. They started the show with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. Why wouldn't they? Original OG Bob Squad member Chris Meatwad once brought up the point, what if they showed Andre the Giant body slamming Hulk Hogan? They should. If Monday Night Raw fell on an April 1st or an April Fool's Day this year, it does not. April 1st is a Friday this year. Coincidentally, the day right before the day right before the 2-day WrestleMania is April Fool's Day, so who knows what they'll announce. They'll have no fun with it whatsoever. There's probably a SmackDown that day, though. Ooh. An April Fool's SmackDown. What do you know? But an April Fool's Monday Night Raw would be great. Start off with Andre the Giant slamming Hulk Hogan. No one will notice that. I'm the only one who notices that, by the way. And then just start the show with Vince McMahon's introduction of all of the wrestlers in the 1990 Royal Rumble. How about that? Tito Santana. Demolition Axe. Dusty Rhodes. Okay. The American Dream Dusty. Okay, anyway. Yeah, what are we talking about? Oh, this was wonderful. Everyone's been talking about this all week. This show opens. But the glass breaks. And we hear... We hear the Stone Cold Steve Austin music and the live crowd in Chicago. That's right, they told us what city. Chicago loses their minds. They were literally throwing babies in the air. I saw a guy holding his small child up in the air because they thought they were going to share the moment of seeing Stone Cold Steve Austin together, and they didn't, LOL. It was so nice. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, Kevin Owens dressed up as Stone Cold and pretended to be him to tease the Chicago crowd. Steve Austin does not show up in this program, okay? It was so nice to see reaction shots, and they never use these reaction shots because the people don't react anymore, to see reaction shots of the people losing their minds, jumping up and down. Not since the CM Punk debut in AEW last August, I think, July, August, have I saw people lose their minds, but this was families losing their minds together, because now you saw dads with kids like telling them legends of Stone Cold Steve Austin and we're going to see them together and blah, 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 blah. And then to see people erupt the second time when Owens is far away, and thankfully the camera, I mean, they're more than smart enough to not get too close on him right away, let the viewer at home experience the same tease. I knew Austin wasn't coming out, by the way, because they would never have Stone Cold Steve Austin on Monday Night Raw and not advertise the shit out of it. Okay, that's how. Not because it would be dumb to have him on the... No, it would be great to have him on the build to get people fired up to see WrestleMania. But at this point, the thing is, like, they're going to get the same number of views. It's the tickets they got to sell, because now they got to sell a 100,000 seat arena twice. They got to sell 200,000 tickets. And yes, there are people who bought tickets for one night because it's expensive. Most people going to WrestleMania travel to that city with planes and hotels and probably rental cars and this, that, and that with families and buy crazy expensive seats. WrestleMania is expensive, and they almost doubled the price of it in the last couple of years. That's preposterous. But and imagine you have tickets for the night that Stone Cold isn't on. Like, fuck that. So anyway, the second big crazy reaction, they see Owens from a distance, and the third reaction, the slow realization that it's not Steve Austin. The heartbreak, the groans, the anger, the faces, knowing they'd been had. It still solidifies my opinion that WWE is the number one heel in WWE. It's the company that everyone hates. This didn't help, but we needed the people haven't been legitimately pissed off instead of just laughing at the heel in the longest time. There's a lot of that tonight. And Owens is great. He does all of Austin's lines, the whoop ass, the stomping mud holes, and give me a hell yeah. And I don't know if he did this on purpose. If he did, I hope so, because it was brilliant. He has the stagehand guy throw him the beers, and Owens misses. He just doesn't catch it. Well, I guess he did give a guy a stunner. Yeah, he gave that guy a stunner, so it probably was planned. But even still, to me, just simply not catching something makes the people boo. And it's just beautiful work. That's the shame. Whenever something's really great, I really can't say much about it, except, wow, that was really great. It was so nice just to hear the volume of the people. I don't know when they were last that loud on Monday Night Raw, and I don't think it's post-pandemic, that's for damn sure. When was the last time they really lost their minds? Some dust on my computer, I'm getting rid of it. I was at Barclays in New York live when Steve Austin arrived and stunned Vince McMahon and poured beer on Vince and Shane, and that was a crazy loud reaction. And in 2014, 4 years prior to that, I was there, and it was a surprise appearance by The Rock, and he did that promo with Rusev and Lana of all people, and that was a crazy loud. Those are the two loudest reactions that I experienced live. On TV, I'm sure it came across just fine. But Austin, basically the thing we care most about at WrestleMania so far, the only thing that has real heat, is Kevin Owens pissing us off, teasing us that we could see Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is great because we love Austin. But do you realize the most anticipated babyface of WrestleMania is a 55-year-old guy who hasn't wrestled in 19 years? You don't really even see him all that much, except for like network interview thingies and whatever. And all we care about is like 98 to 2001, 2002-ish. That's all we care about anymore still. So it's great that he's coming, but it's bad. It's bad. I hope he doesn't do one of those stupid Saudi Arabia matches, but, well, I'll whine about that when it happens. So this was terrific. I haven't even looked at the notes yet. I haven't even looked. An Irish guy is talking to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins just keeps laughing. And then the Mysterios show up, and they wrestle a tag team match against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. The Miz shows up for no reason and commentates, so I started fast forwarding because I don't want to hear his voice. And then Seth Rollins' music interrupts, and the people lost their minds because it was really unexpected. It's one thing if the person the person you're arguing with interrupts you all the time, you're just waiting for it. For Seth Rollins to come out of nowhere, the people know what he wants, they don't know what kind of trouble he's going to cause, and he's on a microphone talking about how he should be at WrestleMania. His microphone keeps going out suspiciously, and there you go. Then there's a tag team match, and Dominic, who has a match at WrestleMania, while Seth Rollins does not want to point that out, because they didn't, who's going to also wrestle Logan Paul in this tag match, who is not a wrestler at all. He's a celebrity no one in the audience cares about. He's a match at WrestleMania, too. There's a frog splash from Dominic onto Robert Roode? Who cares? And the good guys win, and Miz jumps Rey Mysterio and steals Rey Mysterio's mask. Okay. Dominic puts a towel over Rey's face to hide Rey's identity. As if we don't see Dominic walking out of the arena with a random like Mexican guy who's like 2 feet shorter than him. We're not going to figure out which one's Rey Mysterio. But be that as it may, Seth Rollins is backstage again. He's not laughing quite as much. He's yelling at Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. He tells them they're idiots, and I agree. And they have an idea, Sonya and Adam Pearce. Very good. Now the Irish guy is back, but this time Irish guy is talking to Miz, and Miz tells the Irish guy that he stole the Mysterio mask for Logan Paul, and pretends to be on a phone with Logan Paul, who cannot be bothered to be there. Not complaining. A recap of Roman and Brock. AJ Styles is cutting a promo. He is by himself, and Seth interrupts. And they yell at each other as Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce come out and make a match. And does this sound familiar from last week? It should. If Seth Rollins can defeat AJ Styles, Seth Rollins will wrestle Edge, even though Edge is a super bad guy and already wrestled Edge as a super good guy last SummerSlam. So no one believes that Seth is beating AJ and taking his spot at WrestleMania. But they make this match for later. Becky Lynch comes out. And 99 times out of 10, I know what I said. I always say Becky's promo stole this show. Becky's promo is the greatest thing, if not one of the greatest things on it, blah, 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 blah. A Becky Lynch segment is, again, sandwiched in between a Seth Rollins segment, but Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens have been on every segment in Raw in the last several weeks. So the rule doesn't apply here, but it's still Becky and Seth back to back. So they can leave together. I don't know why. That's probably not why. Because Seth is there later. I don't remember anything Becky said. She quoted some Bible scripture or something. She said she's the man. No one's beat her. She's basically in 3 years. She hasn't been beaten for this thing. Alright. Bianca was not there. It's more effective when less of these things are interrupted. The interruptions mean more, and the non-interrupted promos mean more. So I like that, but I have no idea if Bianca's just selling the injury with the chair from last week, or if Bianca's hurt and they're like, oh geez, between Becky and Bianca they keep getting hurt. We just gotta get this damn match in the ring. I hope Bianca's just selling. Probably. I don't know. A blonde lady is talking to Austin Theory, and Austin Theory does not like Pat McAfee. I honestly didn't write it down. I forgot. It's been like 2 days, a day or two, and I can't remember. This is unfortunately what happens when I can't record the thing right away. I was a little busy this week, so it's just not as fresh in my mind. But if the show did anything memorable, I remember the Kevin Owens thing without picking up my notebook. Okay. So anyway. Austin Theory wrestles Finn Balor, who is the U.S. champion. Of course, the championship is not on the line. Where is it? Maybe it is. I don't know. Pat McAfee, the announcer from SmackDown, the announcer that has a wrestling spot on WrestleMania, while Seth Rollins does not. Do you notice the pattern? He's wrestling. Oh, fuck, I hope it's not Seth and Shane, because they always have to give Shane a Mania match. Now, don't even say that out loud. Oh, I just thought about it gives me the willies. I hope not. You have to see a purple-faced Shane McMahon sweat his way through the goddamn thing and be competitive with a bunch of athletes 20 years younger than him. No, that's stupid. Okay. Pat McAfee is at ringside. He's on commentary. And he's distracting Austin Theory in a fun way where he's not cheating because he's still a babyface. But he's being annoying, and we've established that Austin Theory was annoying Pat McAfee last week. Pat was forced to apologize, and Austin was a dick about it, Austin Theory. And so if you just tuned in now and you haven't watched in the weeks, it looks like Pat is the heel, but he is not. He is retaliating for something obnoxious that was done to him, and he is not backing down when Austin Theory gets in his face. So Pat is still the babyface here, so I'm cool with that. There's Pat distracts. There's this wonderful tiny moment where Finn is in a turnbuckle and Austin Theory charges in, but Theory looks at Pat for a split second. It's not even that long and drawn out. It's a split second. He looks at Pat, charges in. He takes Finn's boot in the corner, and just those tiny little things to tell that story that Pat is being a nuisance and a distraction, not the announcers telling us 15 times. And it was absolutely wonderful. And Finn rolls up Pat. Jesus, no he doesn't. Finn rolls a Boston Theory, 1, 2, 3. The U.S. champion does not have a match at WrestleMania. And he's a good guy. Seth Rollins does not have a match at WrestleMania, and he's a bad guy. Nope, they're not doing that match. Because Finn is not presented at the level of stardom that Seth Rollins is, so they're just not going to do it. But wouldn't Seth challenge the champion with no challenger who's just sitting right there? Like, I don't know. Logically, he would, but they're not doing that match because of the mismatched perceived star power there. I love everything Finn does in a ring. It's just too good to not like. RK Bro wrestles the Alpha Academy in a non-title match. I believe it defeats them. The Street Profits jump. I don't know if they're good guys or bad guys at all, but they jump both teams and are left standing, so we know they're not winning the match. Angelo Dawkins looking better every week. I like his facials, features, and yeah, he just looks like a rough, tough. He's not a super body guy, but he just looks like a rough and tough tumbler guy. He's believable. So I'm liking Angelo Dawkins more and more every week. I like Montez just fine, but I'm just saying Montez can oversell and be a little over the top goofy, and I don't know. I feel like if the team broke up, it would actually be. This would have sounded crazy 3 or 4 years ago with this team, because the team was all Montez and Dawkins was there. But if we broke them up today, I'd have Dawkins as the heel, and Dawkins would win that and move on. But we got ways. I hope they don't do that because they need tag teams. But then again, these tag teams run out of shit to do. When you only have like 1 or 2 tag teams on each good and bad side, all of those tag teams wrestle each other 90 times and quickly run out of shit to do. If you have like 3, 4 tag teams on each of the good and bad sides on one show, they're not gonna. It's gonna take them a lot longer to run out of steam, and run out of things to do, and have to be broken up and all that stuff. Okay. Main event time. AJ Styles. I went through this one kind of quick, huh? Because I forgot what happened. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins have a very good match. Yes, they do. So I drank water. I'm dehydrated. Good back and forth wrestling match. Not like a WrestleMania level match. So I'm watching this match, I'm like, these two guys should have a damn huge WrestleMania match. But, of course, Seth Rollins is wrestling Edge, and Edge has his Creatures of the Night from 1995, and is mad at the Ultimate Fighting Machine, Supreme Fighting Machine, for melting down his urn, judging by the lighting. Anyway, Edge comes out with a chair, and he hits AJ Styles, and AJ wins by disqualification, which means Seth Rollins does not have a WrestleMania spot. Hand quotes. Anyway, Rollins loses his mind, and he throws a big tantrum. And these are usually the same, but I like this one. At least he broke different things. He ripped off the new electronic lights that go around where the ring post used to be. I like that. He messed around with the steps. He broke a bunch of stuff on the announcer's table and tipped it instead of standing on it. 'Cause everyone stands on a stupid table now. He just tipped it over and broke everything. There was another weird thing he broke, and I don't remember what the hell it was. I can't think of it. But, this I think was accidentally funny, at least to me. That big barricade between the front row and the ringside area near the ring apron is already part of the ring. The one that Bobby Lashley and Roman and Brock and used to be Braun Strowman would go through, and Bray Wyatt sometimes. Every freaking time Rusev, all the big thicker guys would go through the stupid barricade with a damn spear, Goldberg or whatever. Rollins kicks it down. To me, that was kind of funny that he just walks up to this thing that's in every Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Roman Brock match, and he kicks it and it falls down. I got a giggle there, but whatever. That was it. So Seth Rollins clearly is a WrestleMania match. We don't know what it is. Predictions. Because I ended this early. Predictions. I hope it's not Shane. That would be the worst thing ever. The rumors are obviously Cody Rhodes. There was some Cody chants, and he said, don't listen to rumors. So there's a lot of Cody Rhodes rumors. It's still a possibility for all I know. I'm really hoping it's not Shane. But I don't know. I don't think Lashley's healthy enough. Lashley would be a big enough name and a logical guy to come back and shut his mouth and be like, all right, Seth, you want a match? You got one with me, blah, blah, blah. I mean, logically, the best choice is Finn. Wouldn't Seth want a challenge for a vacated title? I mean, the thing is, we're not supposed to acknowledge on TV that the title is worthless. We're supposed to pretend it means something. So, the title is worthless, but we're supposed to pretend it isn't. So, I don't really know. Oh, Johnny Knoxville is a match. Johnny Knoxville, who cares? Logan Paul, who cares? Pat McAfee, I like him okay, but I don't love him like everyone else does. But he's got a match at WrestleMania. That's 3. And Ronda Rousey is there for whatever reason. I don't even mind Ronda having a WrestleMania match, a big WrestleMania match, like as a spectacle, as an attraction. But I don't feel like they needed to have her win the Rumble and waste an opportunity to elevate a different woman. Like, Ronda could just come in and have the match. Did Ronda have to come in and win the Rumble? But she could have elevated someone else, and it's nothing to do with Ronda. That's just my opinion. And we couldn't do... I think they're doing Rhea versus Becky on house shows, which is good, but if they say Bianca's hurt, Rhea should just replace her. And no, I don't even care about the... There's a fourth tag. Someone else could team with Liv Morgan. Who gives a shit? Sorry, Liv. No offense, but whatever. You can find somebody. Yeah, I don't know the situation there. If Bianca's really hurt, there's a motorcycle going on next door. I live on a highway. If Bianca's really hurt, then okay, you know, I would say do Rhea and Becky. Jesus Christ, if it were me, if I had my druthers, Rhea would have won the Rumble to wrestle Becky, and they could find some other bullshit to get Charlotte to wrestle Ronda. If they have to do that, then do it. I'm not gonna sit here and go on about why they shouldn't. Ronda doesn't need to be there. I don't know. I will. Whatever. The same number of people are going to watch the damn thing on Peacock. The same. Is she drawing one extra ticket to the 200,000 tickets they need to sell? Like, oh my God, Ronda Rousey's going to be there? No. Listen to the audience, the live audience. They care about Stone Cold Steve Austin. They care about the Attitude Era. They remember when stuff was fun. They care about that. That's what they care about. I hate to be a negative Nancy going into WrestleMania, but WrestleManias have been brutal, and it's been brutal for a long time. I remember the 2018 one, where the main event was Roman versus Brock, LOL. Sound familiar? Yeah, I was at my buddy Brian's house, and the thing took 19 days to get through. And the next year was the WrestleMania... the 2019 one, the one where Becky won the main event. It was a different day. The match started after midnight. She won the thing on she won the WrestleMania the day after WrestleMania. Oh, it was like 7 hours because the pre-show starts at 5. It was after midnight. It was 12:30. She won the thing. That's 7.5 hours. Oh God. It shouldn't be a day. Why is it taking a day? You can start your work day and end it, and WrestleMania is just ending too. That's not normal. For WrestleMania, usually I think a good pay-per-view is 3 hours. For WrestleMania, I'm okay with a 4-hour WrestleMania. Give us the big show. Not literally the big show. He's not busy anyway. But a 4-hour Mania is fine with me. Make it move. Make it move and not feel like 4 hours, though. You gotta make it move. These things take longer every year. The production packages, I know they're wonderful, but they're so frequent, and then the entrances, the literal entrance aisleway gets longer. And now people have special WrestleMania entrances with videos and extra songs before their main song. And then there's going to be a live band no one knows is going to play a song no one cares about, and we never know why, and why these people are getting a WrestleMania payday. There's going to be a Hall of Fame extra ceremony, of course, at WrestleMania. They always have those. Maybe something extra for Scott Hall. Who knows? Have Hogan parade around, give him an excuse to suck up the limelight and get booed again. Gotta bring fucking Hogan back. Maybe Seth will wrestle Hogan. No, that won't be good. I don't know, guys. We're counting down. Anything new in toy and fun boxing, the Sunbob world? Not really. I am gonna fun box sometime. I hope it's this weekend. I want to get outdoors and get that helicopter, that G.I. Joe helicopter that Gochitron got me way back in the fall. I want to see if I can do an outdoors fun boxing. I think that would be fun, right? Do one of those. Yeah, thank you for watching my YouTube toy drama video. I was having a little fun. I was having a little bit of fun. After the helicopter, yeah, it's really not much to fun box. Not anything I can't. So I'm just going to put the energy I can into just doing better with the Sunbobs and making them more elaborate and fun to look at. I'm noticing the toy guys, at least a lot of us it seems to be, our space has always been an issue. And of course money's only going to be a bigger issue. So I think less collecting and more making stuff is mandatory anyway, just because of my space issues. But who knows? Who knows? No actual plans. Thanks for listening to me ramble on, guys. I had to ramble on a little bit. Tomorrow night, I'm at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, Best of San Diego, 916 Pearl Street. Do not park in Vons. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Best of San Diego, Thursday, 8 p.m., March 24th. Go see Bob. Go see Bob. Tell him you're there to see Bob. Okay? If you go. Whoever else may hear this. And don't land on a ring apron because it's the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-da.